Hi, it's me, David, your favorite suburban dad. If you're wondering why I have a cut on my face, it's because I dove into a lake that was really shallow and hit my face on the sand. And people won't stop asking me about it. Okay, moving on. This is a 4-burner grill from Monument. It's sub $500 and it was sent to me by Monument Grills. But is it worth the money? All Monument really asked for was an honest review, and they're gonna get one. I actually really like this thing. For the price, it's really hard, if not impossible, to find a grill that has these kinds of features at this price point. There are some small trade-offs, but we'll get to those later at the end of the video, and you can decide if those are deal breakers for you. But I'll just start off by saying that if you're looking to just get into the grilling game and aren't ready to drop $800 or $900, I seriously think you should consider starting here. First, I was pretty impressed here with the most important part of any grill, performance. It gets ripping hot in minutes, the grill grates are actually cast iron, and it's a good size. Their website says you can fit 2 racks of ribs, 5 chickens, and that seems about right after using it. I'm gonna pause right here and say, I know you're still staring at my nose. Stop it. So far, I've done the basics on this grill, which is oddly named the 35633, mostly chicken and vegetables from our garden, and it cooks really nice. The cast iron grates give everything those great score marks and extra char. I'm not getting any propane or gas flavor in the food, just clean heat and a good sear. It gets really hot in no time at all. And for the sake of the argument, let's just say that this is all because this is a relatively new grill with not a lot of use, only a couple months. And to be fair, I might do a follow-up in 6 months or a year and see how these things are holding up. But so far, I'm really happy with the performance, especially for under $500. This looks and feels like a much more expensive grill. People walk out and just want to look at it. It looks good, it doesn't look cheap. And I think part of that has to do with some of the other really cool features, which I'll get into now. The first thing that stands out is this window right here on the front lid. To me, that's so smart, and I wonder why more companies actually haven't made this feature sooner. Half the fun of grilling is just watching your food, just looking at it. I can't explain it, but if you're here, you know what I'm talking about. You just want to stand there with your cold beer and watch the food. When the lid is closed, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do with my hands, but I can't just keep opening the lid and letting all that heat out. So normally I just sit there and curate whatever music is coming up next in the playlist, which I can teach you how to become a master of in my latest video. Anyways, the window is amazing. Now, I'm sure over time this will get gunked up with grease and stains, but it's pretty easily removable, so I think some warm water and dish soap should fix that no problem. Secondly, the light up knobs. Now, does that really change the way I cook? No. Is it super cool? And does it make me feel super cool? Yeah. Is it practical? Actually, yeah. I like cooking at night, and also in the winter here, it gets dark at like 4:30 where I live, so being able to hang out on the patio when it's getting dark, having the light up knobs on, it's just a cool feature. Third, this grill not only has a side burner, which is usually found on more expensive cookers, but there's also an infrared searing burner on the other side. You can use that for anything that needs to get really freaking hot, so the first thing that comes to mind is searing steaks, but it would also work great for shrimp, veggies, and I love using that side burner for seasoning my cast iron skillets. It's a way more convenient way to do it outside, where it doesn't stink up the house with smoke or the smell of oil. And finally, there's a lot of accessories available here. This grill is rotisserie ready, and there's a $60 attachment that you can purchase from Monument that, from what I can tell, seems pretty easy to use. Pretty much every replacement part is available on their website already, so there's no need to call or reach out to customer service or anything. You can purchase stainless steel cooking grates instead if you prefer that over the cast iron ones. It's just really cool to me that you have all these options and aren't limited with only what comes in the box. Okay, moving on to a few negative things that you should know. The thickness of the metal construction is overall pretty thin. You're getting what you pay for here, and it costs a lot before you get into the grills with thicker walls, thicker insulation. For example, the Rogue series from Napoleon Grills sells a similar model to this with stronger construction, but it's gonna run you almost $1,200. Those grills are super cool, they're high quality, I love Napoleon products, but like, if we're being honest here, at the end of the day, they're going to cook your food virtually the same way as this Monument. And that one doesn't even include the infrared burner that this one has. But if you're in the market for something heavy duty at a premium price point that's going to last you a lifetime, you might want to look elsewhere. Similarly, the doors on the front here are really kind of flimsy. The magnets aren't nearly strong enough to keep the doors closed, and they pop open pretty easily. I imagine if my patio was on a slight decline, these would be coming open a lot. So I guess that's something to keep in mind. Now, some older reviews that I saw were complaining about small and cheap wheels, but they must have upgraded them since then because mine were pretty sturdy and locked in place really nicely. They were relatively large compared to the old ones that I saw, and it's really easy to maneuver the grill around my patio. I don't really need to move it around that much though, so it hasn't been an issue for me anyways. This exact model is linked down below if you're interested, but either way, you should peek around Monument's website. There's a lot of action happening at this company, and I like seeing a competitor come in and shake up the space a little bit. It feels like the same 4 companies have kind of been running the show for years when it comes to propane grills, and those products are usually just uncompetitive for the price point. The tiny Weber Spirit is the same price as this, and it only has 2 burners and literally no additional features. No window, no side burner, no infrared burner, and it's so small for the price. There's nothing wrong with a small grill. I used to cook on a really small patio, and that Weber would have been perfect. I just feel like it shouldn't cost $500 for what you're getting. Anyways, thanks for watching, friends. Happy grilling.